Hello you, I'm Pantsman UK and welcome to PMUK Plays Mindcrack FTB. Or for those of you who've been following me for a while, PMUK Plays Minecraft Season 4. And apologies for any beeping coming from my computer. Equally up front, apologies for any noise at all whilst I'm recording this. There's going to be quite a lot of talkiness in this episode because it's the first episode and first episodes are always deathly dull. So I thought I'd just record for an hour and a half on Minecraft and I'll just chat to you about why I haven't been on the YouTubes for, 3 months now? Basically, January of this year, my housemate and I got sick of renting houses and we went to a local new build development and we showed interest and yeah, here we are 4 months down the line from, 4 months down the line from that, 6 months down the line from that, and we own an apartment. And as such, noise can be a bit of a problem. So yeah, you might hear the trams going past the windows because it's a quite warm June day and I've got the windows open. You might hear my housemate Lisa wandering about and talking to the dog and so on and so forth. I've done what I can to block out noises, but it's an impossible task in this building. So yes, I've got an hour and a half of footage which I'm running at 300%. So in real terms I've got a touch over 27 minutes to fill with chinny wag and waffle. So let's start off with the Let's Play season. This one is running with the Mindcrack FTB pack, whatever the current version is, 8.4.3 I believe. I'd have to fire up Minecraft to look. Yes, I am post-recording this voiceover, obviously. And in terms of differences from the pack as you lovely folks would download it, I have turned off GregTech entirely. I took it out of the pack in effect, and I'm, if I can at all avoid it, not going to use Industrial Craft 2 again at all. Those of you who've been following me for a nice long time will know I've done so much industrial crafting, and to be entirely honest, I find it dull and boring now. So don't expect to see me using very much, if any, Industrial Craft 2 recipes, other than perhaps the block recipes when you take ingots and combine them into blocks, which, as we all know, GregTech makes incredibly difficult, which is one of the reasons I turn GregTech off. It's just handy to be able to make ingot blocks, metal blocks even. And the other major difference is I've installed into the pack Applied Energistics. Sure, some of you know I watch lots of I put my teeth in and start again. I watch lots of other Mindcrackers and YouTubers. Funnily enough, I spend a lot of my time at work doing that, but don't tell them. So I've been watching Dyer use AE, and yeah, really interesting mod. So I'm at some point going to get along to using that as well. Won't be the first episode, definitely not the second episode. I've already planned the second episode, and I will be recording it very, very shortly. Shall I give you a spoiler? Do you want a spoiler? I am talking rather fast, aren't I? So yeah, let's give you a bit of a spoiler. It will be what machines are they? I want to say thematic mapping, but that's the problem with me working in GIS, is I get the wrong terms stuck in my head. It's not thematic mapping, it's thermal expansion. There you go. Yes. Episode 2 will be me building thermal expansion machinery and in effect getting my house in order for turning what has been a hellish amount of mining between me recording this footage and me recording what is going to be episode 2. But I'll show you that in episode 2. There's no point in worrying about it right now, is there? I've just noticed I've made a spelling mistake on the thing that you've already seen, and won't have the spelling mistake because I've already fixed it. Great. So yeah, we bought a house. Well, an apartment, little 2-bedroom apartment in a new build block. It's phase 3 of, I think, 5 phases, or phase 3 of 5 or 6 phases. Which means we're not in the cheapest houses, but we're not going to be in the most expensive houses either. Flats, apartments, call them what you will. Well, given I've got, what, 11 minutes still to fill? How about we do the whole story, huh? So yeah, as I said, back in January, my housemate Lisa, now flatmate and co-owner, she for many years has been concerned that she was spending an awful lot of money on other people's mortgages for them. Sorry for the tram. And for what, at least 15 of the 20 odd years I've known her, she's been saying she wants to own her own property. And what we expected to be the end of a very nice scheme, the one that predates the first buyer scheme that the government in the UK have introduced recently, where you can get away with a 5% deposit and a loan, a capital loan, from a local housing association, and the government to let you move in. Yeah, we got onto the scheme that predated that, which we fully expected to be cancelled, and that was it. So that's one of the reasons we sort of jumped as quickly as we did onto this scheme. And again, apologies for the tram. It doesn't last long, but it's noisy. So yeah, we got ourselves onto this first buyer scheme, and we told our landlady, in our then landlady, in, wasn't January, it would have been February, that we were buying a flat, and as soon as we knew when the completion date was going to be, we would tell her, and she was perfectly happy with that. I mean, she came in and did an inspection, and we said, as soon as we know the date we're moving for definite, we'll let you know, and everything fine and dandy. And 3 months later, 3 months later, we know when, well, actually not even 3 months later, next month, would have been March. We know our moving date is end of March, beginning of April, so we tell our landlady it's beginning of March, end of April, and we start making preparations. The flat itself came to us without any flooring at all, unless you consider unpolished concrete to be flooring, which is fine, I suppose, in an industrial setting, but absolutely no use in a residential setting. So we both take 2 weeks off work. My dad comes over from France. My parents live in France. I'm sure I've mentioned that before. My dad comes over from France, and he and I spend the week and a bit he's here putting down absolutely lovely laminate flooring under my feet right now. And then the remaining week and a few days in a week that I've taken off as holiday for the move, Lisa and I are moving equipment. Well, we're decluttering the house we were in, because the house we were in was 2.5 bedrooms and attic space, and we're in a 2-bedroom flat now. So we declutter. We get an absolutely giant skip, and I mean, it was the largest skip that the skip company we went to would let us have as a residential customer. 16 yards, nice and tall, quite large. We fill it in 3 days. Fill it over the top of the skip, that much full. Thankfully, there are, at this time of year and at that time of year, lots and lots of I would call them gypsies, travellers, the Irish travellers, around where we live. And, you know, first day we're putting stuff in, one of them rolls up in a transit van and says, "Do you mind if I look through your skip?" And we say, "Absolutely not. It's going to be here for about a week. Pop over and look through it whenever you want." And they did. And it's only thanks to those guys pulling stuff out of the skip that we didn't have to get a second skip, to be entirely honest. So anyway, we fill up a skip. We spend 4 days cleaning the old house, and our landlady, it turns out, has turned into what we as London renters knew each and every fucking landlord or landlady in London is like: a mentalist. I've lived in London for what? I'm 42. I moved here when I was 18. So I've been in rental properties of one form or another since the age of 18, and every single landlord / landlady where I haven't been house sharing, but where I've been an actual proper honest to goodness renter, has been a nutter. And they've done everything they can to not give us back this, give me back the security deposit, and our old landlady is being exactly the same. And to be entirely honest, the pair of us have had enough of this, and we're just going to take her to court. So either we'll win, or she'll win, or we'll both win. That's the way to look at it. Apologies for the dog. Oh, I can see that on the histogram. What is up with him? Shh! I'm going to have to mute that. Yeah, so, landlady, nutter. Don't know what set him off. He's special. So yeah. Anyhow, the story that goes around that deals with my telecommunications and my internet connection. Our internet connection. When we were at Rental House, we were in a Virgin Media cabled area, and we had the absolute biggest pipe that Virgin Media could give us, and it was 100 megabit. And we had that for all of a month. I mean, we were on their 50 meg service for years and years, and they promised us an upgrade to 100 meg, and it took them 1.5 years to actually deliver that. Between telling us we were going to get 100 megabit and actually getting 100 megabit was 1.5 years. So for a month we had 100 megabit service. Loved it. The week before we're due to move, I phone Sky, because I know full well we can't get Virgin. I've already contacted Virgin at this point and said, "I'm moving house, can I have Virgin?" "No, sorry, you're not cabled at the new place." So I phoned Sky. Sky put me in touch with one of their shared development contractors. Sky themselves don't deal with shared occupancy buildings. They farm that off to third-party companies. In our case, a lovely company called Love Digital TV. I phoned them the week before we're due to move. They give me a date to install in the second week of our move, by which time we're fully expecting to have most everything ready for them to be here. As it turned out, they didn't. We didn't, but neither here nor there. We managed to get a TV in place in time. Engineer turns up, spends 5 minutes installing the box and says, "There you go, sir, that's done. Here's a quick demo, blah, blah, blah." Goes out. In actual fact, yeah, rewind just a touch. If I rewind just a touch, I phone Sky. Sky say, "Well, we can do you a Sky TV, but we can't do you a telephone because there's no telephone lines in the building. You'll have to contact BT, get them to install a line, and then we can take it over." So, second week of the move, Skyman, fella from Love Digital TV, arrives, plugs in our box. I phone Sky, and you know, this has been a fortnight since they arranged that, and Sky's telephone department still can't find us because our address doesn't exist according to British Telecom. So, over the course of the next week, I am on the phone to to BT every day. Once a day, every day, I'm phoning them up. I'm phoning their sales department and saying, "Can we have a telephone line?" They ask me for my phone number, for my postcode, and they say, "Sorry, you don't exist." So it's the end of the move-in period. I've taken 2 weeks off holiday to do the move-in. We're moved in. Flat's lovely, thank you very much. And we've got no telephone and no broadband. And we've been that way for a fortnight because we had the Virgin service turned off at the start of that period, and we're already 2 weeks after that period. We've still got no telephone. I phone up BT. I get put through to the sales department, and an absolutely lovely woman whose name escapes me, and I do apologise, because I did want to give her a shout out. But anyway, she says, "Well, if you're not on the database, I can just add you now." So I'm on the phone for an hour whilst she adds our postcode, because the building exists in their database, but our flats, the ground floor flats, don't exist. This is the weirdest story you're ever going to hear in terms of getting data service. Second floor and above flats all exist, and their postcode, which we share with them, funnily enough, are on the BT database. But ground floor and first floor, for those of you in America, first floor and second floor, flats, numbers, I mean, we're all individually addressable objects in this building. So why we don't exist and everything second floor and above does, could not tell you, as far as BT are concerned. But nonetheless, our on the phone, she puts our address into their database and arranges for a phone line to be fitted. This is the beginning of May. This is the beginning of May. BT's line installations take 15 days from date of order. So middle of May, we're going to have a telephone line. Yay. But annoyingly, BT's policy is we can't stick an order in for broadband if you haven't got a line, because we can't tell you how fast that line's going to be. Day after I've placed the first order for the phone line, phone back BT sales and say, "You know what, I don't care how fast the line's going to be. Please can I get an order in?" And the sales guy, who knew what the hell he was doing, says, "Yes, we can put an order in, but all it's going to do is reduce the lead time by about a week." Because again, BT in their infinite wisdom say it's 2 weeks for a broadband order. All it's going to do is reduce that by a week. So I say, look, I don't care. I don't care how fast the service is. Just get me some broadband as fast as you possibly can. Soon as you possibly can. So anyway, he sticks in this broadband order, and it goes off to some provisioning department inside of BT. And as I say, 2 weeks later, we've got our telephone line, and lovely engineer fella comes in, sticks his equipment in the wall, because I mean, all the cabling between us and the box at the end of the development is in place. All he's got to do is go to the box at the end of the development and actually connect it up to the exchange. He comes in, he plugs in all his pinging equipment, and he goes down to the green box and he plugs us in, and then he comes back and he checks the line up to the wall. And I at the same time he's arrived, I've said to him, any chance you can find out if we can get BT's fibre offering, because your website says it does, but then your website also says it doesn't, because we can't actually look ourselves up, because according to the website we don't exist. So yeah, he goes away to the green box, he plugs us in, he comes back and he says, I've been in touch with the Infinity department, your box at the end of the road isn't cabled, so no, you can't have Infinity. So yeah, we get back in touch with BT Sales, having got a telephone line at last, and they say, yeah, we know the line now exists, you will get a broadband service. Can't tell you how fast it's going to be, but you'll have service in a couple of weeks. Despite the fact I was on a please give me the soonest delivery of stuff you possibly can. So yes, for about a month and a half, I wish it had been a week and a half. For about a month and a half, we had no broadband whatsoever, and we were having to survive on 3G and 4G service. My housemate Lisa works for the BBC. She is expected to work from home 2 days a week, and you know, without broadband, it's kind of tough to work remotely. So she went and got herself an EE 4G dongle, which, despite the fact that we're in Croydon, South London, and according to EE have wonderful 4G coverage, she can't get 4G all that well. It drops out somewhat terrible. So anyway, we're surviving on 3G and 4G for a month and a half. That, in really long story short, TLDR, is why I have been missing from YouTube for 2 months now. I mean, it doesn't help that I was waiting for the Mindcrack FTB pack. Well, actually not the Mindcrack FTB pack. I was waiting for an FTB pack to come out so that I could do Season 4, and then whilst I'm waiting for that to happen, Mindcrack get an FTB pack, and so on and so on and so on. So here, there and everywhere. I have now got Mindcrack FTB pack, as I have explained. Seed will be in the more info section below the video when you're watching it, if you want to have if you want to have the seed and you know, play around with it. As is normal for me, I'm using the Sphax texture pack. I'm actually using Sphax for Mindcrack FTB, as you get it off the BDCraft.net forums. There is an effort to consolidate the various things that are in the Mindcrack pack and have extra textures available in Sphax. I mean, obviously the only one that isn't in that pack that I'm using is the Applied Energistics pack, because Applied Energistics isn't a part of the Mindcrack FTB pack normally. Right, that's 24.5 minutes of chatty. I've got about 3 minutes left. What to do? Well, as I've said, this one episode will be running slightly long. I'm going to try and make my episodes between 20 and 30 minutes in length. This will be the only one which will contain nothing but zippy fast playback. Although ordinarily I'll be cutting bits out of where I need to cut out of rather than doing zippy. You won't have to put up with watching me mining. You'll find out why in the second episode. Although admittedly that's between this episode and the second episode, but nonetheless you'll know why in the second episode. I don't need to do much mining right now, and I'm going to try and keep themes for each of the episodes other than this first one, which is the talky one, as I've actually called it. Second episode will be the thermal expansion episode. Third episode, I don't know. That'll probably be a building episode, because I want to move from where I am in this episode to a proper built-up structure. And I was considering doing it before the second episode, or doing it as the second episode, but I'll do the thermal expansion before I do the building of a building to sit in, live in, blah blah. Okay, only a minute left. Anything else? Have I started conversations and just finished them without finishing them? Don't believe so. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna start ending it now. If you didn't dislike the episode, leave a like. If you're not already a subscriber, do a subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, I will, as long as you're not being a dickwad, respond to you. Won't respond to dickwads, and chances are you'll get banned if you're a dickwad, because I can't be putting up with shit like that anymore. I've become quite mean since I bought a house. Flat, whatever. Okay, see you in the next episode. Tatty bye for now.